I'm TEMPHUiBIS here, and today I decided to do a 3ds Max tutorial because a lot of people have been watching my music video and I appreciate the support. Some people have been wondering how did I do some of the shots in there, and a few of my friends asked me how did I do a specific shot in the music video, which I call the multi-screen wipe shot. You see this stuff on adverts sometimes and probably some other music videos as well. But I decided to show you how I done this shot, and I'm going to show you probably how you could also make it look better as well. So let's get started with it. So I've got 3ds Max open on default at the moment, and what I'm going to start off with is selecting box and then going into the front view. Let's make a like a rectangle, make it a little thicker. Now let's get it in view, in all views that we need, just so we can see what we're doing. Next thing I'm going to do is put an edit poly on it, and we're going to select the polygon mode. Select the front poly here, and we're going to click inset, and the amount I'm going to yeah, not too much. What we're doing is just creating the basic screen. Actually, a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that basic television screen. Now we're going to click bevel. Now I'm actually going to use the left view for this one. This is because you can see what we're doing here. So we're making the height go inwards, and do a bit of it, make the outline small as well. So it's got that little basic TV monitor type look, and click OK. Oh man, my 3ds Max is slow. Alright, select the polygon again now. Now we're going to extrude, and this time just a tiny bit back, just there. That's it, not even that much. Okay, now before I move on, I like getting everything ready nice and early, so I'm going to call this TV. And I'm going to start off with doing all the naming all the IDs. I want the screen to be number 2, and I want everything else to be 1. So hold Control, press I, it inverts selection, and set the ID to 1. And the idea of that is, so when you set your materials, you can actually make the outer material any color you want your TV to be. Show material. Yep. Go to multi-sub object, discard old material, and select the first one. I'm gonna make it like a sort of a dark grayish color, and although this is a basic shape, the shininess won't show that much, but I'm gonna add some shine to it anyway. And now we're gonna go to number 2, and 2 is going to be the screen. So when you go to diffuse, click the map button next to it and click bitmap. Now this is where you select your video or picture. It all depends how you want it. It actually doesn't matter how you do it really. It's come on, hurry up. Yeah, and due to rendering slowdowns and purposes and stuff, I'm actually going to just do a picture instead of a video today, but this is where you would select a video. It works just the same way. So here's a picture that I took in a UK city called Bath. So that's my Bath view right there. Now now we put it on, and as you can see, it's already set the way we want it. So now the TV's set. What we're going to do next? Oh, hold it! I forgot something. Let's select the polygon in the middle again. Now in this view, I'm going to move it back, but as I move it back, I'm going to hold Shift, and what that does is clone the screen. Now we've got 2 screens, and what we're going to do is call this screen. It's very important to start naming your stuff early, otherwise you're going to end up in a lot of problems later on. Okay, so now let me make sure that that screen is done. Yep, all perfect. Now we're going to make a bone, and a bone is what's going to control the screen. And yeah, don't need a nub bone for this. Now the bone isn't in the middle of the screen. Let's put it in the middle. Now you know, that bone looks too small. Let's enlarge it. It's on 2. Let's make it 8. There we go. That's much better. And there we go. Now what we do is we'll select all of them and clone as I go along. Remember to hold shift as you move. Now it asks you how many copies do you want. I'm going to say 3, just so that we have row 4 screens ready. Let's zoom out here so I can see what's happening. And now select all of that and move it down. And do no, actually no. Before I yeah, actually, you know, I've got an idea just came to my head. Let me do that. And what I'm gonna do is move this like kind of halfway across here, and then let me take that there like this. You can really shape all your TVs the way you want them. And I've decided to do this shape, so I'm going to select all of that and clone that one more time right there. Okay, now the TV and all the stuff is selected, and let's take a look. That looks good. Next we're going to make all the screens one object. So select by name, and there's the screen. Now what we need to do is hit the attach list button. Now go into alphabetical order. Now you're able to select all the screens, and this is why I say it's good, yeah, to start naming your stuff early. Now all the screens are by themselves, so let's see if it works. There we are. As you can see, there's that different illusion there. Now I'm going to undo that, and what we're going to do now is hide all the televisions, just to make this next bit easier. Alright, so that's selected all the tellies. Now hide selection. Now the only thing that's there is just the bones and the screen. Now the first thing I'm going to do with the screen is add a UVW map, and what I was going to do is put a planar map on it and cover all of it, but it just done it automatically for me. But this is where you can add some, you know, effects, like if you didn't want it to cover the whole thing, you wanted to do like some, let's say like a quarter or whatever. Yeah, but this is what I wanted for the moment. Now that's sorted already. Now we're going to go to skin. And skin is what will help attach all the bones. Now, if you was having more than one wipe screen, it would have also been good if you had started naming the bones earlier on as well. But since I'm only doing one wipe screen, I didn't bother name the bones. That's something just to keep in mind. And so what I'm going to do is edit the envelopes. Bone 1, and I'm going to select vertices, just to make sure that as you select them, you come down here to weight properties and bring it to 1, so each bone controls one screen. As you may see, it's also selected, it's also done some of the ones down there as well, but no need to worry about that, because as you go to this one and then select the vertices here, yeah, it will automatically shut it off when you go back to this bones, and there, that isn't there no more. So let's move on to this. Oops. That. Always select the bone first and then select the vertices around the screen. Then put it to 1. And you've got to do that with every one of these, and you're seeing how I'm doing this now. So I'm going to skip forward because you don't have to watch me select and do this with all of them. So let's move forward. Okay, so I finished it. I've selected all the vertices for each screen, and it's all working perfectly now. And the idea for that, of course, what I'm going to do is go to select here and select bone. So that means I can only select the bones now, not the screens. And what that does is, where I move this bone, this one screen will follow. So that's the idea of assigning the bones. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click unhide all. Now we're going to start the animation. Alright, let's open up this side here, and we've got the bones selected. Well, now we've selected all the bones, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go 15 frames and make sure you turn on auto key. Now we're going to move. This is where the illusion starts. The screen, remember the screen is behind the official screen of the TV. What we're going to do is move all these bones forward until the screen is actually past the one on the main TV. Now it's past it. All the bones has moved forward. There we are. There's the animation. You can see the scrub through there. Now I'm actually going to give this a render and see how it looks so far. Brilliant, but it seems a little bit too fast. I think that's because of the fact it actually starts early, too early. So it's something I actually forgot to do. So what I'm going to do is minimize that because we don't need that at the moment. And then what I'm going to do is select all these keyframes down here. I know it looks like 2, but there's actually 36 keyframes. Because remember, there's 18 bones. Now, what I'm going to do is start it around 10. So the switch actually starts around 10. It'll finish at 25. Now when you look at this again, you notice that all screens all change at once. You know, now it's time to actually give it a wipe swap effect. Now, make sure you still got every bone selected here. Now, what we're going to do is deselect these 2 bones here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the wipe effect from the top left-hand corner, and it's going to wipe down this way. When you start planning which direction you're going to start your wipe from, the first thing to do is deselect the ones in the corner of that. So I've deselected both those now, and what you do now is grab all the keyframes again, and we're going to have it wipe on, let's say, something like I'll give it about four frames. Yeah, I'll give it about 4 frames different. Actually, no, 5 may do because it looks like it would probably be a bit, yeah. So I'm going to give it 5 frames different. Now, what you do is deselect the next 4. And make sure you select the keyframes again. And we move another 5. Okay. Oops, I accidentally deselected the bones there. So what we want to do now is, well, we was going to deselect these 4 bones here anyway, so what I'm going to do is just not bother deselect those and just select the ones here. Okay. Okay, now take the keyframes again, move another 5. Now deselect these 4 here. As you can see, there's only like these 3 and this 1 left. And once again, move these another 5 frames. And then, now we're going to deselect these last 3. Well, in fact, there's only 1 left, so you know what, just select that one. Don't have to deselect. And then now move it here. So now what happens is it's actually wiping at their own pace now. So what I'm going to do is render this again and see how it looks this time. No, I do not like this. Okay, that is too slow. No, that's not what I'm going for at all. Okay, so let's sort that out. What I'm going to do, what happened was, when I separated them each by about 5 frames, I think that's too long. I should have separated them from something like 3 frames. So what we're going to do to fix that is now we're going to start back from the end here and move it in 2 frames. 1, 2. And now select also select all 3 ones here. So there we go. That's 4 now. And grab all of those frames. You can see they're all separated here, and move them 2 in. Let me just close this just so I can see what the stats down here. Alright, and select the next 4 and bring them 2 in again, and the next 4, and 1, 2 again, the next 4, and 2 again, and last 2 right here. Okay. Actually, no, we're not going to move the last 2. What am I talking about? Okay, we're going to leave it there. And now, hopefully, it's actually faster. So, let's render one more time. Nice one, my son. That's what I'm talking about. Yep, now this is the effect that I'm looking for. It's just like as if it just wipes straight into the next screen, you know, a little bit more, you know. This is the type of effect that I was going for. And as you can see, it's all done by just moving all the bones and then just offsetting them. That's where the illusion is. So now that's done. There's still one more thing I'd like to add, because this looks kind of rubbish. It looks like, you know, that someone just put this in Photoshop and just manually changed it themselves. You know, it doesn't look that real to me. Let's work with that. This is 3D, so let's make a camera and move along with it. So I'm going to start off with a random camera. I'm going to start off. First, I'm going to go back to the first frame. Don't need auto key for the moment anymore. I'm going to do this and press C over here to change the camera view, and that looks great so far. There we go. And what I'm going to do is come to about frame 60, and I'm going to move the camera over there and a bit back as well, and the target, move that across as well. So now the camera set, it's probably not gonna be a perfect view, but at least you will be able to tell it's a bit more 3D. So now I'm going to render this last scene. Personally, I do not really like this camera view. It's probably too close. I probably would have edited it a bit more, but at least you can just tell now that this isn't just a random image from the internet and someone put it into Photoshop and done a little few effects here to make it look like a cheap GIF file. You can actually see it spinning. You can actually see this is in a 3D world, and it does look like a real wipe shot. So that's my tutorial on the multi-screen wipe shot, and hopefully people find this tutorial useful, and if anyone knows any quicker ways to do it, I'll be more than willing to hear what people have to say. And with the method that I feel that I used, I reckon with a lot more work you could end up with this. Love who you are.